Hey everybody, it's Alexia from amysticspath, back with another video for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Now, with this video, I don't want to talk about the overall energy of the week. I want to talk about Pluto going direct. Why? Because this is going to affect us greatly. This is happening October 3rd, which is this Thursday. Now, when we're looking at the energy of Pluto himself, and I say him because he is a very masculine energy, Pluto is our planet of death and transformation and rules our most authentic and intense zodiac sign, which is Scorpio. And when this planet goes retrograde, we see ourselves really undergoing a lot of transformation on a soul level. This is stuff that affects us deeply to our core. Why? Because Pluto is a very, very intense and authentic energy. Okay, and a lot of us over these past 4 months has seen a very big pull to discovering and uncovering who it is that we truly are on an authentic level. And a lot of this has brought a lot of pain to us, because a lot of us has had to see that we have been walking around in this kind of like shell that is encasing who we are, but disguising it at the same time, like a full body mask. Okay, and a lot of us have had to begin to work through this, as well as a lot of us have had to deal with a lot of our past traumas and a lot of our childhood traumas that we never fully dealt with, and a lot of that stuff has been popping up into our brain and really making us focus and causing us some breakdowns within this. Why? Because Pluto wants you to heal through this. Pluto's goal is for us to learn the lesson but release the pain, and that's where the death energy of this planet comes in, is the release, the death of this part of you that you don't have to carry with you any longer. And Pluto comes in so strong and so hard because these lessons are very, very difficult lessons to learn. And if we had a choice, we wouldn't really deal with them on our own, okay? And what I'm seeing for how this energy with Pluto going direct is going to affect us, and the energy we are like feeling and influenced by, I see this energy being a very big dramatic change to the level of manifestation that you've been able to create up until this point. There has been a lot of things that you've been calling out for that may have not been coming in because Pluto had you focusing on something else. Now I see a really big shift within this. Maybe a lot of those things that you have been calling in or that you will be trying to call in may come in at a faster return rate, because Pluto won't be working so hard to make you pay attention to a lot of these lessons that you have to work through. Now, when we get into the cards, the first spot of where this energy is going to affect us the most, we get the Page of Swords and Urzuli Freda Dahomey. And this is saying that a lot of the messages that are coming through, and a lot of the thoughts that you have been having, have caused you or are causing you to look at yourself and really look at yourself for who you are, for all that you have been through, all of the things that have gone right, all of the things that have gone wrong, but really looking at yourself past that mask that you may put up, past this hard exterior, past how you want people to perceive you, and looking at yourself for who you really are. And within this, we see Pluto kind of asking us to revisit the growth that you've gone through these past 4 months, revisit the boundaries that you had to set for these past 4 months, revisit all of the healing and growth and development that you as a person and your soul has undergone. Really take a look at that before we exit out of this energy in a couple days, before Pluto starts to kick up the energy of moving forward and going in a direct fashion. He really wants us to sit and look at what it is that we've gone through, the growth that we've gone through, the development that we've gone through, and how we have changed as a person on the external and the internal, okay? Now, how this energy is going to affect us emotionally, we get the Six of Pentacles and Masa La Flambeau. And this is really saying that things have really been seeming to come out in short amounts, like there's short supply. Money's been short, resources have been short, maybe food's been short. The things that the universe is gifting to you has been in very small, minimal amounts, like kind of like weighed out. We see things being balanced and everybody just kind of getting this small amount that's literally just enough, if that. But we kind of see that there's going to be like the lid on this is going to kind of fly off, that this block is going to kind of be like exploded, like blasted into smithereens. And that this forceful energy that has been keeping this block in place to where you're only getting enough or you're getting less than enough and things have been weighed out in very small amounts, that's just going to be kind of blasted away. That block is going to kind of be cleared out of the path. Okay, and we'll kind of mentally see this when we are seeing things going on in our day-to-day lives and seeing how things come to us and how we receive them, being different and being in a more abundant way almost. Okay, now how this energy is going to affect us emotionally, we get the King of Wands and the La Place of Congo. And this is saying that we are going to be, upon Pluto going direct, we are going to be really connecting into our joy and our passion and the things that give us excitement and the things that we are driven towards and passionate about. But within this, we are remembering what doesn't serve us, and we're kind of cutting that out right at the get-go and not taking on what doesn't serve us in cultivating our craft or our passion or our vision, whatever it is that you're personally doing, whatever it is that you're passionately, focusedly, intensely driven towards, or will be, this week and over the next few weeks while Pluto is kind of starting to kick up that energy and really getting back into the swing of things. We're still kind of going over what doesn't serve us and what does, and kind of letting that fall on whatever side of the crossroad it falls on. Okay, whether it falls on it's serving you or it doesn't serving you, and you're taking that into account before you cross over the threshold to pursuing more of what you want. Before you cross over the threshold of calling in more of what you want, we're really evaluating what serves us and what doesn't, and taking only what serves us forward with us. When we get into how we need to work with this energy, we get the Devil card. Okay? And we get the Hugan of Congo as well. And within this, we are really looking at our coping mechanisms and what we are influenced by. A lot of the energy in these past 4 months has been very, very heavy and very, very thick. And this really plays on how we deal with that. Okay, so at this time, while things are beginning to change, our brain may be still in the process of things being in lack, things being heavy, things being thick. At this time, we're wanting to pay attention to what we're putting into our bodies, if we're overeating, if we're not eating enough. Okay, if we're doing other things that are indulging, that distract us from how we're really feeling. And instead of doing that, we're really in a place of just letting these feelings flow outward, maybe taking a creative approach instead of a covering approach. Okay, instead of covering it up with a blanket and acting like these feelings aren't there, because while Pluto starts to kick up some of this energy, things might get a little bit rocky and emotional. You're really going to be looking at yourself, and there may be some feelings coming up of you not liking who you were, or heavy feelings of what has happened while you're trying to gather out of this energy of where we've been focusing been forced to focus so intensely on healing. And instead of going straight to a coping mechanism, we're letting these things flow out in a way that is creative and positive, and a positive influence for us. So maybe this is, flowing outward of emotions through exercise, or art is always a good one. Singing is great, dance is great, but instead of covering it with something that is going to satisfy you but not be beneficial to your health. Okay, because like I said, things are changing, and when things change, the road kind of seems to get rocky, especially for some of us, especially if we really have to be moved to a completely different place, or we haven't done a lot of the transformation and growth that we were supposed to undergo. A lot of this might hit you very hard at the end, so please be prepared for that as well. Now, the conclusion cards that we get in this spread, we get the Nine of Wands, which indicates that you're still very guarded, and you're still very guarded about others' intentions and just what is going around you in your environment. We also get Zatoli as well, and that this is really saying that a lot, if not all, of these lessons that you've had to serve and that you've had to go through and you've had to heal through are a part of your path, because they're shaping you into the person that your life path has called you to be, or the person that your destiny has called you to be. And all of these things have served as a lesson. So when we look at lessons, we are supposed to learn them, not keep repeating them. So we're learning the lesson, and we have to discard that pain. How do we do that? Well, we heal and we release. Okay, so this guardedness that you're feeling, it's there for a reason, but it's kind of time to come to this vulnerable state where you can kind of let go some of those swords and some of those shield of armor that you've put up, because as long as you learn the lesson and truly learn the lesson and ask, what lesson is it that I am supposed to be learning here, you will not be put in a place to keep repeating these lessons, okay? Now, the supporting cards that I pulled for this message, we get the Spring card, the Feminine card, and Fulfillment. And within this, I really see us invoking the growth and the development that we have undergone and really calling that in. And within doing this, we tap into our divine feminine energy, which is our energy of creation and nurturing and loving, okay? And this is also going to be bringing us closer to our fulfillment. Well, how is that? Because when we have served all of these lessons and learned all of these lessons, and we come to a place where we are coming from, we are encompassing all of the growth and all of the things that we've seen and all of the wisdom, and taking the lessons, we've released that pain. And the pain comes in as a blockage. And when we are releasing that, we can really tap into our divine feminine core, which is of nurturing and love and creation. When we are coming from love and nurturing, it even brings us even more closer to our fulfillment. But see, Pluto is working to get us through these lessons so we can get to where we go. Once we learn these lessons, we're that much closer to our fulfillment and what it is that we want to achieve. Now, I hope that this spread has been very helpful for you guys. If you have any more questions or need any more clarity upon Pluto going direct and what that means, or want to see what that means for you specifically and your life, because this is a very general reading for the collective, please do not hesitate to contact me. I would love to work with you. Everyone, please have a great day.